Solving quadratics by factoring.
To solve a quadratic equation by factoring, you have to start with the equation in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Be sure it is set to equal to 0. Then factor the left-hand side, assuming 0 is on the right. Set each factor equal to 0. Then solve to determine the roots, the values of x. So first, we're going to start off with the equation x squared minus 12x plus 27 equals 0.
Alright. First, you have to multiply the a term and the c term. And once you do that, you get 27x squared. Then you just have to drop the negative 12x right here on the bottom of the x. Now you have to find two numbers that when multiplied will get you the product of 27x squared, and then once added would get you negative 12x, which is negative 9x and negative 3x. Then you move the a term on the top left corner of the area model, and you move the c term on the bottom right of the area model. Then you just move the two factors on whichever one, it doesn't really matter. And then you just got to find which ones are the same. Alright, which would be x and negative 9 and x and negative 3. Then you just put them into 2 points, which is x, negative 9, and x, negative 3.
The next example will be 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 equal to 0. First, you gotta multiply the a term and the c term, which would be 6x squared, and then you shift down the b term to the bottom of the x. You find two numbers that would add up to 5x and will multiply to equal 6x. After that, you get down the a term and move it down to the left of the area model, and the c term to the bottom right. And you shift those two over and put them on the left boxes that are there. It doesn't really matter which side they are on. So you have to find which ones are in common. So first one is 2x squared and 2x. They have 2x in common. So just write that down. And then 3x and 3 have 3 in common. So you write that down. You find which they have in common. So they have x in common there. And then these, they have 1 in common. And you just take those down, and those are your solutions.
Alright, here's our last example. The height of a rocket launched upward from a 160-foot cliff modeled by h equals negative 16t squared plus 48t plus 160, where h is the height in feet and t is the time in seconds. To solve that, you must first find the GCF, which is the greatest common factor. To do that, you must divide negative 16 and divide it from all the terms. That would get you t squared minus 3t minus 10.
So you just take that equation and you solve it like the rest. You multiply the a and c term, and then you put it on top of the x. And then you shift down the negative 3t on the bottom of the x. And then you find two numbers that multiply to get the top number, and they add up to the bottom number. You shift down the a term and put it on the top left of the area model, and the c term on the right bottom. And then you just shift those two down over here. It doesn't matter where. You find what they have in common. So that's t, and then here it's negative 5. You have one solution, and then here you find what these two have in common. So that's t, and then these have 2 in common. So you just bring them down, and you have your solutions.
Your solution for that problem would be 5 seconds. Alright, thank you for listening. That's all.